Before any of us can respond, the door bursts open and Detective Gursky strides in. He looks angry.
That's enough.
What? I'm sorry, officer. I didn't mean to do anything wrong.
What are you doing here?
Wondering the same of you. I thought I told you to talk to David.
We were going to. We just wanted to help Con out.
And we've learned more. We may have found a lead. Dr. Johansson had another project he was working on.
Just because the guy's dead doesn't mean you can poke around in his stuff.
We didn't!
There's no harm in it. He always wanted his work made public when he passed away. He hoped that someone else would be able to pick it up where he left off.
So it's fine.
Seriously, stop being such a dick.
You're not even supposed to be here.
You know where you were supposed to be? Arresting that guy who stabbed me to death. Think about that one. Gursky turns and forcefully hurls us towards... Oh, right, he's mad because I'm pretty sure that Schultz knows that we're the results of the experiment and it would just be really rough on them if they learned, so he...
I'm taking you off this case.
He just doesn't want us to know. Why?
Because you're not listening to me. I cut you guys a lot of slack, but you can't just do whatever you feel like. You're clearly not taking your work seriously, and I'm sending you back home right now.
Gursky motions for Jupiter to leave.
Everyone out. That includes you.
But I have work to do.
And I'm declaring this a crime scene.
He didn't die here.
But some of his work is here, and you've already said it might be evidence. It was a mistake for me to let it get this far. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to lock down the building.
I can do that, but do you really think this is necessary?
I'm not taking any risks.
Jupiter leads us out the front door, pausing to flip a tiny switch in the door's frame before she exits.
Thank you, Miss Celadon. I'm sorry to take you from your work like this, but I promise it won't be long. As for the rest of you, go home.
But...
No arguments. Get Lee May and go straight back to the apartment.
Aki glares at him.
I'll tell Schultz about this.
I don't care. Just go home.
Fine. Good luck solving this on your own.
You can't. I'm better at this than you, and also you don't have any relation with the guy whose evidence is important, so... Aki stalks off and Naoki follows after her. With a final confused glance over my shoulder, I follow suit. I can feel Detective Gursky's angry gaze boring into my back as we leave. As we near the main road, Aki slows to a halt.
I want to go back.
Are you kidding? Gursky's gonna be waiting there!
Then we sneak in through the side.
Isn't the door locked?
Then we find a way around it.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Like her.
Aki casually points over my shoulder. I turn around to see Lee May. I thought that was a bad end raw. Jeez.
That was quick. We need to get inside. Think you can handle it?
Lee May scans the building and nods once. Aki grins.
I knew we could count on you.
We follow Lee May to the side of the biology building. Why are we here? Lee May points at the fire escape. What, really?
It's a good choice. The fire escape isn't locked by the security system because it needs to be opened no matter what the circumstances are.
Lee May sizes up the ladder on the side of the building. It looks like the ladder's rusted in place. The graceful leap, Lee May grabs the bottom rung of the ladder and pulls on it. It groans for a brief moment before sliding down with an unhappy squeal. Well, Lee May climbs the ladder swiftly and pauses in front of the door. But it's still got a lock of some sort, doesn't it? Okay, now, weren't you around when she picked that lock? Well, she solved the puzzle box, it wasn't picking a lock.
Sure, there's a manual one, but it shouldn't be a problem.
Really? Lee May curls her fingers into the space between the door and the frame and gives the door a sharp tug. The door swings open suddenly with the sound of a harsh metallic snap. What?! Oh, right, because she's got her cyborg arm.
Probably.
Wait, no, that... Isn't there still, like, a leverage thing that... I don't know, it's like a Dr. Octopus conundrum. Apparently he braces himself with one of his arms, though, I don't know.
See you at the back door.
Lee May nods and slips into the building silently. What just happened?
She opened the door, obviously. Let's go.
I follow Aki and Naoki to the lab's back door. Aki glances around quickly before effecting a casual pose. She turns to me and frowns.
Don't look so suspicious.
We're kind of breaking in after Gursky told us not to.
He's our handler, not our boss. Besides, aren't you even a little bit curious about what all the secrecy has been about?
Well...
You have to admit, it is rather suspicious. He's stopping us from doing our job.
Yeah, I don't know what's with him. He's like, oh, I gotta protect you, but it's like... If you're young enough to... If their age difference is low enough that you dated one of them, maybe you're being an asshole right now. Gursky's attitude during this case has me on edge, too. The door swings open and Lee May pokes her head out.
Good work.
Aki grabs the door's handle and swings it open with a flourish.
Alright, let's move fast. It won't take long for Miko to notice we're here.
The four of us hurry into the lab and Aki grabs the laptop sitting on the counter.
Bingo, she's still logged in.
Isn't that a security risk?
There are so many locks on the outside, sometimes people get complacent about locking up what's inside.
She grins.
Especially if I distract them on the way out.
You were planning to look at these files all the time.
I didn't know if I'd get the chance, but I figured it couldn't hurt to prepare for the option.
Sometimes you scare me.
I know.
Aki scrolls through the files quickly, looking for something that might catch her eye.
See anything?
Wait, there!
What?
I point to one of the folders. That one called Dragon's Blood is the only old project listed under Dr. Johansson's name. Aki double-clicks on the folder and a list of files flashes onto the screen. The four of us crowd around the computer as Aki opens the first
A
file.
project designed to unlock latent potential?
That's what Dr. Johansson was talking about.
Looks like it was more than a hypothesis. He didn't tell Jupiter the whole story. He's got dated records of the Dragon Emperor of China granting psychic abilities to others as a reward.
What?
It involved some sort of blood transfer, but the powers were unreliable. No two people would develop the same ability.
Oh, that transfusion thing I said right at the beginning of this Let's Play might have actually been the reason why Alex's sister developed a Kansei.
If they still had his blood today, imagine what they could do with it.
Doesn't that mean that a blood transfusion from any of them would cause a psychic power to manifest? Man, if one of them is O negative, that means they could create like a really terrible psychic version of, I want to say top 10, like an authentic nerd, but I haven't even seen top 10, so Boku no Hero Academia.
I think that's exactly what they were aiming for.
Yes, I instinctively refer to it by the shut up, it's still Hero Academia. Naoki's eyes dart back and forth across the screen. They were trying to replicate Dragon's Blood?
I've seen these before.
Where?
The card that Kongai took from Mr. Otten's house had the same formulas, although Mr. Otten had more on his.
But that proves this was Otten's project. We found it!
It was more than talk. They actually tried to do it.
Oh, here it comes. Did they ever manage to recreate this Dragon's Blood?
Doesn't look like it, but
Naoki catches his breath and his hand falls limp. What? What's wrong?
they were looking into alternative solutions.
That's really ominous, please explain!
Namely, altering people to produce children with dragon's blood.
Synthetic didn't work, so they looked for a way to make it naturally.
But you're still introducing chemical... I don't understand, but sure.
The first study was a failure. Of the 20 men they worked with, none had children who exhibited any traits of dragon's blood. Most of them passed away years later, all from causes eventually linked to the study. But in those years, they tried again. With women.
Okay, what were you experimenting with that was that lethal? Also, that seems like a bad idea. Naoki swallows and shakes his head. The women they experimented on lost their ability to bear children completely.
How did you know?
Marissa was researching it when we met. She said one of the women...
What are you doing in here?
Detective Gursky stands in the doorway. I can't tell if he's angry or scared? He strides across the room and reaches for Aki's shoulder.
I told you that you're off the case.
Aki pulls away from him.
But we found Johansson's old research. This could be the key we need to find the killer.
It's not important anymore. Naoki, close the computer and leave now.
Detective Gursky's voice is laced with anger. He's definitely not in the mood to debate, but Naoki sits frozen at the computer.
Chie.
Naoki's voice is barely a whisper. He breathes in slowly and his chest shudders.
Chie Mizutani.
Aki spins around to face her brother.
Mom?
Naoki bows his head and buries his face in his hands. Oh, so they are actually Mizutani's. Aki rushes to the computer and her gaze darts across the screen.
One success. Subject Chie Mizutani died during childbirth, but left 2 children. Both exhibit potential for dragon's blood.
Aki's face hardens and her eyes turn dark.
Success?
Her voice shakes and I see her slowly clench and unclench her fists.
Aki.
Aki's eyes meet his and I see a sudden light of recognition.
You knew!
I'm sorry, I just...
You knew!
Nikolaj looks away from her and nods once.
I knew.
How?
I stumbled on the report in a place I wasn't supposed to be.
He doesn't bother to suppress a bitter smile.
You and I are both much too eager to learn things we're not supposed to know.
Aki doesn't respond.
After that, I was assigned to Edgewater, to your case. I'm the only one who knows what you two are.
Oh, it's not a coincidence that he was assigned to them.
And what exactly are we?
Children unfairly robbed of a parent. Adults thrust into a world without a lifeline. Human beings.
Aki doesn't make any effort to hide the bitterness in her voice.
Why didn't you tell us?
I wasn't allowed to. They would have taken me away if I did. I didn't...
Gursky stops and runs his fingers through his hair as he searches for the right words.
I didn't like the thought of someone else watching you.
We still deserve to know! We could have kept it a secret! Why didn't you trust us?
Because... I don't know.
You had no right!
I had no choice.
No.
Naoki stands and faces Detective Gursky. His eyes are hardened.
You had a choice and you chose not to. Did you think you were protecting us?
He clearly did.
Did you think we'd feel better spending life thinking our mother died because of us?
But she didn't.
He hurt us!
Naoki lets out a scream and his face twists up in a mixture of fury and guilt.
He hurt us and we thought we deserved it.
His body shakes and he takes a deep breath to steady his voice.
I did nothing, because I thought I deserved it.
Aki exhales slowly and looks Gursky in the eye.
Leave!
I can't let you stay here.
Gursky takes a step towards Aki, but Lee Mei intercepts.
No.
Please, I can explain.
Now's really not the time. I stand beside Lee Mei and look Gursky in the eyes. You're gonna make it worse if you stay. With a frustrated scowl, Detective Gursky turns and walks up to the doorway. He pauses at the door and whispers under his breath.
It wasn't supposed to happen this way.
As soon as he shuts the door, Aki's hands relax. A series of red marks appear on the palm of her hand, perfectly matching the curve of her nails. Lee Mei and I stand, unmoving. Neither of us is sure what to say. I open my mouth, but no words come. Should I even say anything at all? As if sharing the same mind, Aki and Naoki sink to the floor in a single motion. Aki wraps a comforting arm over Naoki's shoulder with a practiced ease. He mirrors the gesture and the two sob quietly into each other's shoulders. In the harsh glare of the artificial lighting, they look more real and honest than I've ever seen them. The girl forced to grow up too soon, desperately trying to protect the innocence of a boy plagued by demons. The brother and sister lost in an ocean with only the other to cling to. Something I understand. I kneel beside them and place a hand on each of their shoulders. Lee Mei joins me and touches each of them gently on the back. You're not alone anymore. Neither responds, but they don't have to. We all understand. The four of us stay on the cold floor, silent but together. Broken but not alone.